Yo, what is up, guys? XRP is at $1.07 right now on CoinMarketCap. Our first tweet comes from Bitcoin Magazine. Just in, Senator Gallego and Senator Tillis are finalizing language for a Clarity Act counteroffer from the Democrats and plan to send it to the White House in the next couple days, according to Politico. Our next tweet comes from the Crypto Squire. America wants clarity. Congressman Mike Haridopoulos says the Clarity Act will strengthen the U.S. economy and help ensure America remains the global leader in digital assets and blockchain. The Senate now has a decision to make. Let's watch this video.
Well, I think it's common sense that we move forward. I mean, this is about the future of currency in the world and making sure that American markets are the premier markets in the world. This is how we attract the capital necessary to grow our economy. And the great thing about Clarity, digital assets, blockchain, whatever you want to call it, is it speeds up transactions and reduces costs. That's what everyone should be looking for in the most common sense way. And I got to admit, as a House member, we're incredibly frustrated. We finally passed a bill that says no longer can congressmen buy stocks. We passed a bill that say only Americans vote in American elections. We passed the bill that says that you show voter ID. And the Senate kind of sits on their hands. And this is why a lot of us are saying the filibuster rule is outdated, and we need to allow the votes to finally take place, because when you allow the filibuster to hold, what that means is that the verdict of the 2024 election is nullified, because Democrats will simply play politics, abuse this privilege of delay, and deny the American voter what they want, which is, again, voter ID, Americans only, and things like the Clarity Act, which help grow the American economy. We've already seen trillions of dollars come into America because they realize this government actually wants to see business growth as opposed to the previous administration. Clarity will allow us to make sure that we are the center of the action on digital assets, the blockchain, or the internet in general. That's what we're focused on, and we hope the Senate will finally get on board and really energize this economy even further.
All right.
Smash that subscribe button and hit that like button if you believe XRP will reach $3 again this year. Our next tweet comes from Watcher Guru. Justin, SEC says it is ready to create crypto rules if Congress fails to pass the Clarity Act. Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. Breaking, U.S. Senate Majority Leader John Thune confirmed on Fox News that the Clarity Act will be voted on in the Senate before the August recess. Let's watch this video.
What do you believe you can get accomplished before the August recess, and then you come back in September? How imperative is it that these items get voted on?
Well, first off, I mean, we're going to do Russia sanctions, and that's a tribute to Lindsey Graham, who we all are going to, commemorate tomorrow. I think we'll get that done. I think we got to fund the government, and I think we're on a path to do that.
You don't think Chuck Schumer's shutting it down?
We'll see. I mean, I'm going to find out this week. But I think there's also there's a package of nominations. It's about 74 noms that the president's put forward that we're moving them in block. We'll do that. We will probably have a vote on the Clarity Act, which is the digital assets bill legislation that's in front of the Senate. We'll see if the Democrats give us the votes to get on that. There's also a possibility on NIL legislation. I had a couple of conversations over the weekend with people like Ted Cruz, Eric Schmidt have been working on that issue, and that's the college sports issue. A lot of people are interested in that.
I know the president has leaned on you hard. He's leaned on Mike Johnson hard. You have very slim majorities. In terms of his priorities, what percentage of those do you believe you can have done before the midterm elections? Because he's got a lot on his wish list.
He does. I mean, the main thing he wants, Sean, as you know, is the Save America Act, and that is something where, like I said, we've had multiple votes on it now. Not a single Democrat has voted for it. I think we continue to put him on the record.
Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. The U.S. Senate has only 10 days left to pass the Crypto Clarity Act before August recess. Time is running. Our next tweet comes from Smoke DQG. DTCC, for the first time in history, we will have shared digital market infrastructure. Let's watch this video.
Is really where we stand. But a lot of the things that Roy and Chris outlined in the report, like when I read it, it's spot on. Like it's not a hedge anymore. Like it's time to move forward. There's got to be no regrets spending and investments as we move forward. And a lot of firms also, just financial institutions, are very cautious by nature, as they should, and you want them to be. Well, you talk to a lot of them, they're like, we'll be a close follower. But this is moving so fast that there's going to be a gap between the people that start and that close follower that could be could be a bit tough to catch up. So our job, the beauty of what I do is I don't compete with any of these firms. What we're truly trying to do is bring a new, and this is important too, for the first time ever in our collective history, we will have shared digital market infrastructure with an emphasis on shared, which is critical. And as we move forward, we'll hopefully see more adoption. But talk to me on early November, and we can give you a good sense on how that goes.
Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. Huge. The US SEC says it's ready to create crypto regulations if Congress doesn't pass the Clarity Act. Our next tweet comes from Paul Atkins. I am committed to supporting Congress and advancing the Clarity Act, including providing technical assistance. American leadership in the digital finance revolutions means matching the energy of American innovators with a regulatory framework worthy of them. Let's watch this video.
We are ready, willing, and able to come out with rules, that address the same issues in Clarity and other aspects of the crypto market. Ultimately, we need the certainty of a statute that will help future-proof so that we have clear direction and to go for.
Our next tweet comes from Bank XRP. Alert, Senate has put the Clarity Act on hold for now, prioritizing floor time for Russia's sanctions bill instead. With the August 8 recess approaching, the window for a vote before then is narrowing fast. Our next tweet comes from the Crypto Square. Time to vote. Senator Dave McCormick says the time for delays is over and is calling for the Clarity Act to be brought to the Senate floor for a vote. Let every senator go on the record. America needs clarity. Let's watch this video.
Time now to move forward and get a vote on the Clarity Act. The Democrats, I think, are starting to think we don't want to give a win. We want to continue to push back. There's been a negotiation on ethics language, which seems very commonsensical. The Agriculture Committee and the Banking Committee have come together on a common text. So we need to get this to the floor and vote on it. And if the Democrats are going to oppose it, we need to get them on the record.
Do you have that vote scheduled?
It's not scheduled,
okay.
And I think it should be. This is we got 2 weeks left, and we got to move fast.
Our next tweet comes from Bank XRP. New York AG Letitia James just went to war with the Clarity Act. Her argument, states handle 98.8% of crypto fraud arrests. Federal preemption means fewer cops on the beat, while scam complaints in New York have tripled. Senate needs 60 votes before August recess, and this fight isn't done. Our next tweet comes from Zave Crypto. Goldman Sachs just broke from the rest of the banking lobby on the Clarity Act. Told Politico the bill creates an even playing field and said they're supportive of moving it forward, a notable split from banks that have pushed back on crypto market structure rules. Let's watch this video.
David Solomon broke away from the majority of the banks as he is now heaping praise on Clarity. He told Politico that the legislation is not perfect, but it creates an even playing field. Here's what he said in part. I'm very supportive of moving the Clarity Act forward so we can get some market structure in place and start to move the innovation process along. Faryar, do you foresee a moment where other bank CEOs get on board with Clarity?
Well, the irony of the situation we're facing with the bank lobby in Washington is that all the banks are actually moving quickly to adopt crypto and stablecoin in their own systems. Coinbase actually works with a number of the leading banks as they integrate this technology into their infrastructure. The bill itself has actually an entire title devoted to giving banks assurance that as they adopt crypto technology, they won't be subject to regulatory uncertainty if you have another Gary Gensler type regulator come in who decides they want to politicize this issue. So there's a lot of big wins in that bill. I think that's what David Solomon understands, and I think that's why he came out in favor of it. And I think the adoption by the banks tells you that as much as the lobbyists in Washington are resisting change, the long-term plan for the banks at the top is to adopt the technology, and it'll be a win-win outcome.
Real quick, if this helped, press the like button. It tells YouTube to show this to people who want the truth, not hype. And press the subscribe button if you're done being sold the moon. I've already got your next one right here. Go!